the YouTube. I said, let me go live again because the YouTube so it makes it look like I'm still live when I'm not. So I had that one that I wanted to talk about. Um, let's play a game, just a little solo knowledge exercise. And for those who just joined us, welcome. Feel free to subscribe, like, share, comment. As long as you keep it clean and respectful, you know what I mean? You can express yourself. I'll come back and talk more about that. But why people lie. So the last one about the game got cut off. But just looking at what you're doing, what you're engaging in, and how we give away a lot of our power, our ability, and what is power anyway, right? What is it? It's important to define it and to understand how we give it away. And then we gripe about the fact that we don't have any, thinking that a lot of it comes from someone else, when a lot of it actually comes from the individual, and it comes from harnessing the power collectively of individuals to this collective power that actually makes something work. So for instance, and then I'm gonna come to why people lie, but just as a continuation from the previous video, the reason why the West was able to be built, and this is what the reparations discussion is surrounded around, is because it was harnessing power of individual melanated people that was captured on the continent, and harnessing that power in what you call these plantations, and making them work so that the scheme or the larger game or plan can work. You know what I'm saying? And so that is something for us to think about as we look about like the making of stars and the making of celebrity. It doesn't work. Celebrity doesn't work if you're not able to harness the power of the people, capture their attention and harness their power and mesmerize them and do all of these things so that you can get the attention, and by extension either their loyalty or their buying power or whatever it is. This is why ad dollars spend so much on advertisement, because they want to be able to get your attention. But anyway, why people lie, I could talk more on that, but why do people lie? This is why do people lie? Off the bat, why do people lie? What are some thoughts as to why we, the people in general, lie? If you go biblical and you go back to the first recorded transgression, one would have to say that when people begin to cover things over verbally, because that's what lying is, right? You're using your words to either cover something, the truth, or just spin a whole different narrative that really didn't even exist, okay? And some of the reasons that I come up with, and then you can come up with some and share them, some of the reasons that people lie are for fear. Fear of whatever the fear is. So you catch a little child and you told them not to, and the little child eats the cookies and leaves the crumbs, and then here you come. Then you ask them, who ate the cookies out the cookie jar? And then the first thing they're going to say is, not me. And you say to yourself, I'm the type of person having a discussion with the children, I'll be looking them at their face like, why? And it's fear. It's fear of consequence. It's fear of whatever that consequence is, whether it be trouble to people lying. From that fear, manipulate. Why does someone want to manipulate you? Again, manipulate what? Using their words or their influence to get you to do something so that they can take your power. So they're either going to take your power by you volunteering it to them, which really often doesn't happen. Usually you volunteer it, or you offer it up. Oh, they finally finished this house. You offer it up for based on however they have influenced you to do so. And so when we look about lying, when we look about the truth versus the lie, and why people lie or why people misstate the facts, they'll be like, well, I didn't lie, I just altered the facts. No, then that's lying. You know what I'm saying? It's because we're fearing whatever the consequence is, whether it be from a person or from ourselves, because sometimes we lie to ourselves, and this is the worst type of dishonesty, because when we lie to ourselves, we're really convinced in what we're telling others, right? We really convince ourselves we lie, or we're in denial with ourselves about whatever the situation is, and then we become convinced that what we're telling others is the truth. And we deliver it with such conviction, and we deliver it with such, you know what I'm saying? We're so persuasive that the person's like, yeah, I know they're not lying. One of the things I saw that made me want to talk about this, which kind of got covered with the R. Kelly conversation, is this documentary that just came out with the two little, they're not little anymore, but now they're levying lawsuits against Michael Jackson's estate. And I think they testified at years ago that he didn't do anything, and now they're back saying he did. And so the lawyer who represented Michael Jackson's like, well, they're liars. You know, you can't really trust them because they were on oath swearing. And I'm like, if they're 30 something now, wouldn't they have been like girls? Wouldn't have reason to lie? You know what I mean? And so that really, I'm sitting there looking at this and looking at his defense, and he looks, allegedly, whatever, he looks kind of suspect. Let me just say, he looks a bit sus in the way in which he's emphatically saying that they're lying now. Like, I think it'll be weird to not look at verbal abuse or physical abuse or sexual abuse, and not look at those victims, and even if indeed they are victims of that, not looking at some of the reasons or circumstances as to why they would lie about what happened or what occurred. And according to their narrative, they were manipulated, and they had fear. And they were told if they told what happened that they would go to jail. I don't know how the child going to go to jail, but they would go to jail, and so would he. And so they found